Let's bring you updates on what's happening in Kogi and the back and forth crisis that's been going on between the SDP and APC after weeks of the gubernatorial elections. The Nigeria Police Force has given the spokesperson of the Social Democratic Party, SDP in Kogi State, Farouk Adejoh, 24 hours to throw more light on his allegation that the Commissioner of Police was Bethrand Onuoha was responsible for recruiting thugs for a particular political party in the state.
Meanwhile, the All Progressive Congress APC also berated the Social Democratic Party SDP as hoodlums, allegedly stormed the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC office in a bid to allow the party to inspect the election materials as ordered by the Kogi State Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal. The State Police Force has called for calm, indicating that the political party members who disturb the peace will be locked up to face the law. Now, joining us this morning is Prince Adewole Adebayo, the SDP Gubernatorial candidate in the February 25th presidential elections. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, and God bless Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria. Interesting times in Kogi State. The elections have happened, but the drama continues. Can you share with us, what exactly is playing out here? There's been calls by the police to the SDP spokesperson, to, of course, come and, explain himself and what he meant by the police supporting thugs or, bringing out thugs, to attack SDP supporters and whatnot. And also what happened with the INEC office and all that drama.
Okay. Well, I was the presidential candidate, not the gubernatorial candidate. That's probably no problem. And I haven't been in Kogi State for a short while. So, but what we are getting from there is just a simple matter. We have a petition that we are preparing to challenge the unlawful results that were announced on 11th November for the governorship election. And INEC would not cooperate. We asked them for a review and all of that. So we had to go to the tribunal to get an order of the court to make INEC allow us to inspect the records, the documents, the resource sheets, the ballot papers, and everything. That is what is giving the state government sleepless night. Ideally, we have no business with the state government. Election has been concluded. We've announced APC Ododo as the winner. We've not gone on the street demonstrating to anything. We're just following the legal process. But the police, the INEC, the state government are working as if they work for the APC, which is not a responsible way to run a government. So what we are trying to do is to go and inspect these documents. But what they are doing is to prevent us from doing it until the time we clock out. And if you file a petition and you don't file proper evidence, the court will not have a legal basis to fine for you. For example, in Okene local government, INEC by itself gave us a beavers report. This is from INEC, not from us. Certified by INEC, saying that only 78,000 people thereabout were accredited in Okene local government. But you are in the media, you know that the result is about 138,000 only for APC. So the whole result showed that 140,000 voted in Okene, whereas by INEC own official report given to us yesterday, only 78,000 were accredited. So all these inconsistencies are what is giving sleepless nights to the state government. And the police, they have a duty of law and order. They have a duty to maintain the peace. And they have a duty to protect government agencies like INEC anywhere. However, that's not what they are doing. What they are doing is that they recognize that the state government wants to create an atmosphere where we don't get this evidence. And the police now would keep looking until the state government and the APC have surrounded the INEC office. Nobody is able to come there, and then there is tension. We also know that SDP, we are aware of the various communities that are in Kogi State, and we don't want to be the political party that turns a simple election contest into some identifiable identity crisis, where people of certain identities start to be on this side, and people of another identity have to be on the other side. So we are careful. However, we cannot allow a situation where we have a good case, everybody knows it, and we don't access the evidence. Then later you start blaming the court and say the court's not fair. It's not the business of the court to help us get the evidence. After they've given us the order, it's our duty to go to INEC. And in Abuja, INEC has been a little more cooperative, but in Lokoja, it has been less so. And time is going. We must file the petition today, and that was why there was tension on everyone's side to ensure that we obtain the evidence and we file the petition today. And Nigerians can see what happened on that day, and they will realize that actually Yakubu Ajaka of the SDP won the election hands down, and that Usman Ododo of the APC actually did not win the lawful votes. That's just what we want.
Let's just to get some clarity, because first of all, I'm expecting that the police would continue to push the spokesperson, the SDP spokesperson, to answer these questions. So let's get some clarity on exactly the role that you're saying, or you're alleging the police played or is playing in this whole situation. You've described a situation where INEC is refusing or seemingly refusing to release documents and release details that you would need in your court case. But what role exactly is the police playing?
You see, the police should have no controversy. For example, I read in the media where the police spokesperson says that the SDP person is given 24 hours or something like that to explain. What are we explaining? We've explained it, that you are taking sides. It's simple as that. What are we explaining anymore? And the situation became improved when the IG of police sent a contingent from Abuja. So why would the IG send a contingent from Abuja? Because the IG understood that there has been a confidence of crisis with the state command. So what are you asking us to prove? We're saying it every day. Somebody went on the press conference, openly explained the role of the police, openly expressed disappointment in the partisanship of the police. You're asking him to explain within 40 days. He's already explained. So what you need to do is to investigate. If the commissioner of police is implicated, people are higher up, AIG, in charge of that zone, DIG, other people who investigate. It is for the confidence in the police. The police is still our own police. I still get protected by the police myself. So the police is not like they are completely against the SDP or against people of Nigeria. Is that on occasions, people in the police force, officers, allow bad judgment, to allow them, to make them to become partisan or to be seen to be partisan. And when a political party like the SDP or any other social institution in the country or any individual points out that this is a problem in the police will do something about it. That's what you do. And in this case, the police did not prevent the APC sympathetic crowd who became mobbed from invading INEC office. It did not protect INEC. And this was preventing us from being able to do our inspection in INEC. That's all. And we are concerned, major concern of our party is that the materials that we need to be able to prove our case in court were in jeopardy because there were rumors fly around, credible information fly around that they have been employed to go and burn the INEC office, and that when SDP doesn't see any evidence, what will he use to do the election, the petition? That's all. So we don't want a simple election matter to become a community crisis. So it's not for the police to behave like they are an opponent of SDP by saying the same way APC will have said it. And if you look at what the police said and what the APC said, if they are looking like they are coordinated, that should not be the role of the police. The police is a very important institution, so that than all of us. It's one of the oldest institutions in Nigeria.
Hello, sir. Can I please interject at this point and ask you about the burning of the INEC office? There's been multiple accusations, different parties casting the blame on different parties, SDP. So, from your standpoint, can you categorically say that you know for sure who would have burned down the INEC office and why?
Why will I burn the evidence I need to prove my case? This is just common sense. What's the interest? When INEC was manipulating the results and INEC was about to announce the wrong result, we didn't burn the INEC office to prevent them from announcing the result. It's only now that they announced a false result and we are asking the court to allow us to inspect documents that are in the building. You just go and behave like Solomon. Who is likely to be the mother of the child? The person said preserve the life of the child, or the person said cut the child into two. So why will we, who have evidence inside INEC office, ask anyone to go and jeopardize the evidence there? Or APC, who have already obtained what they needed to obtain from INEC, they have their certificate of return in their hand, and if nothing happens, they will be sworn in. But if something happens and contrary evidence comes out of INEC office, then their election will be reversed and we will be sworn in. So who is more likely to damage the evidence in INEC premises? So that is just common sense. So we have no interest in that. And then where is the record? Anywhere that SDP, whether in Kogi State, outside Kogi State, has had any history of violence. And if you notice, look back to the election and the campaign, who was under jeopardy? Whose people were being killed? Who were being arrested? Go to the IG of police. It's a policeman. You don't become the IG of police as a baby. You become the IG of police after years of experience. The IG of police knows the situation in Kogi State, has seen all our complaints, and is conscious of it. Even if we may not want to openly oppose his people, he's taking actions underneath to try to put the things in order. So what we have done is not a foot of no confidence in the police as a whole. It is to allow the police system that their command in Kogi State is compromised. Right. And I believe police is doing something about that. So we have no interest whatsoever to damage anything in INEC. We want the evidence preserved and want to build the evidence to the court in a manner in which it can be admissible in the court, because the court is not going to jump into conclusion. And the court, there's a particular format by which the evidence must be prepared. Otherwise, even though our case is strong, we may lose it if the evidence is not properly before the court.
All right.
That's what we're trying to preserve.
Thank you for clarifying that. Just talking about the fact that your party, SDP, was not behind those who were threatening to burn down the INEC office. Let's move now to talk about personalities and Yahaya Bello and your thoughts on him and how he's handled all of this so far.
Well, he's always in my prayers, and in my generation, because we're about the same age, is also in my prayers, that when the older generations give someone of our generation an opportunity to be in leadership, that we don't become a bad example in leadership, so that they will say, okay, even the youth, what are they doing? So he is always in my prayers, and I don't know, I know he has his passion to have his political party and his own person succeed him, but I think he should remember that he's the governor of the state, he's a leader. So if I go to Kogi now, the protocol is that I will be the first person I will pay homage to, I will visit, and his success is the success of everybody in Kogi State. So he should calm down. He's done enough damage already. I think he should just respect that office and calm down and let the will of the people and then ultimately the will of God to take place in that state. He should calm down. He should not overdo it. And that's what I say, because he's the leader of the state. Even our own candidate, who we believe won the election, even if he had been the person declared, he will still be under the governor. He's the governor of the state, for God's sake. He's the member of the Council of State. He's a leader of Nigeria. Every governor of a state is a member of the Council of State, the highest decision-making body in the country. So the leader of a state is the leader of the country, and he should let that work. And those who have rigged people into office before, manipulated people into office before. It doesn't take too long before they too run into their own crisis after the election. So people should learn from history. What Kogi needs is a very calm environment. The state is a very well-endowed state, one of the richest natural resources states in the country. However, they need peace, and the communities are diverse. So they need to have love among themselves. And it's the duty of the governor to create a calm environment. In Kogi State, our aim is just to establish the fact that we won the election and let the law take its course. Whatever the courts decide, we will abide by it. We are not there to make trouble. And 4 years another time, we are a very popular party in the state. We remember that Natasha Akpoti, who is now a senator on the platform of the PDP, started with SDP. We did very well. We've always done very well in the state. Our base is there, so we have no concern about the future. But we want the governor to realize that his day job is to be governor. And overall, is the leader of the state and should comport himself. The same way, as a leader of the SDP, I don't go there to foment trouble. I don't go anywhere to foment trouble. I remember that beyond today's transaction, the history, there is the future. So that's what I can say. And I wish the governor well. He should calm down and be a governor.
Yeah, I also, get your thoughts on, the faith you have in the judicial system. You're approaching the court, you have issues with the way INEC is handling its own, end of the bargain. But the PDP candidate, Dino Melai, has said that he would, not be bothering himself, by going to court. So can we, get your views on how much you trust the Nigerian judiciary and, of course, the courts to handle this tribunal, and, of course, with the strength of your case also. Do you, maybe have similar fears like Dino Melai seems to be expressing in this time? And also, Hope Uzodinma of the APC, as Meg mentioned, that the APC has won in Kogi and other states, and it's a sign that Nigerians are happy with the APC. If you could quickly address those.
Okay, number one, I have implicit confidence in the judiciary. And that confidence arises from, one, I know what it takes to win a case before the court. I know what it takes to lose a case before the court. So it's not, my attitude to the judiciary is not based on whether I win or lose. Because if I lose, I know why. If I win, I know why. So I have an advantage over maybe someone like Senator Dino Melai, who is not a lawyer. The issue for us is that if there's a particular kind of evidence we need to bring to the courts, and the evidence is very huge. So the local governments where we are challenging the results, once we bring the analysis and everything to the court, we believe that the court will find in our favor. If, however, the difficulties arising from obtaining the evidence, or if we are careless, or we don't present in a particular way, because one principle is clear, that the court doesn't have confidence in beavers, and the court does not make decisions based on beavers. So we are careful to use the evidence obtained from the beavers in the manner that the court can recognize it, because the court has guided us as to the fact that INEC may be telling you beavers, IREP, but these things don't really matter, and that's the lesson we've learned from the Atiku versus INEC petition and Obi versus INEC petition. We knew before that the court said we don't really care so much about these IRF and beavers, and those who rely on it, they tend to discover that the court doesn't take it seriously. So we're trying to avoid that kind of pitfall. But overall, no problem with the judiciary. If the case is good, remember, if the tribunal doesn't treat you too fine, you will see the error on the record and you will go to the Court of Appeal. And then in the case of governorship, we go all the way to the Supreme Court. So we are laying a good foundation for our case, and we believe that we'll get justice. And getting justice from the court does not mean the judgment has to be in your favor. It means that you have a good hearing and your questions have been answered. But in our case, because we have confidence in the result that we have, we believe that we are going to win the petition. Now, with respect to Senator Dino Melai, yes, he has his own different experience. He has other reasons, and we are second, according to INEC record, is maybe third or fourth or something like that. He may have other reasons as well. I always respect people's decision, because when I ran against President Tinubu, and he was declared the winner. I didn't go to court because I saw the state of the evidence, I saw everything, I realized that it wasn't worth it, and I just left it. And then I let the public know that something was wrong with the election, and we should not do another election like that, and I stated out everything that was wrong with the election. Now, with respect to the governor of Imo State, well, he's not from Kogi State, he's from Imo. He wasn't in Kogi State, so if he says that his party won everywhere, he's probably just relying on the hearsay evidence. I don't know. We have a candidate in Imo. Even the candidate in Imo has complained to us with respect to how the election took place and didn't take place in some places in Imo State. But we've asked our Imo chapter to compile the evidence, and tomorrow is the last day, and they have not been able to give us all the evidence that we need. So as a political party, we decided to we'll concede Imo to APC, because even though our members there said that the elections were not free and fair, there were no voting, and there were cases of intimidation and all the rest of it, that the numbers were cooked up. They said all these things, but we are SDP. We don't go to the press and say things because we have been told. We said, okay, bring us a compilation. Give us reports from your agents. Give us all the sessional reports we need from the 25 local governments. They said they are working on it. They haven't completed it. And because of that, we will not, as a party, go and impugn the election in Imo State just based on hearsay. We need to see the evidence.
Well, of course, we look forward to having more updates on these stories, and we certainly will look forward to having you join us again. But thank you for your time with us this morning. We wish you a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, and God bless Nigeria.